One of the biggest spots open on the Niners roster this offseason is who's going to start opposite Nick Bosa, with Samson Ebukam along with other defensive ends leaving. There was also a big change at the defensive coordinator spot from DeMeco Ryans to Steve Wilks. But despite these major changes, the Niners hope to still have a dominant defensive line, and they have an ace up their sleeve to accomplish that. And that's their defensive line coach, Kris Kocurek. He's typically been able to get the most out of guys and also has been able to turn guys' careers around. An example of that is Kerry Hyder, who had a stint with the Niners and then got a massive contract. This has kind of been typical for Kris Kocurek, and hopefully he continues that stint with this upcoming batch of defensive ends that look to start opposite Nick Bosa. But first, we must understand the Niners' defensive line and their philosophy. The Niners defensive line relies on a lot of substitutions, but generates a ton of four-man pressures. This is great for the Niners defenses in the past that really didn't blitz that much. But it looks to be changing with Steve Wilks, who does look to up the increases in blitzes, but the Niners still want to generate pressure from their forward players. They also were able to upgrade their defensive line this offseason on the interior, which should help take some of the stress off the edge guys. So now their starting defensive line looks like this: Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, Arik Armstead, and then the edge now is unknown with Ebukam gone. One of the most important things in the Niners offense is getting off the ball quickly and just having that athletic burst. And one of the players the Niners have that's looking to make a jump from his rookie season to his sophomore season is Drake Jackson. As you guys may have recalled, Drake Jackson was able to be selected by the Niners last year with their first pick in the second round. While Jackson didn't have the most eye-popping first year, he was stuck behind some talented guys like Ebukam. But coming out of college, he did have a lot of goods, and a lot of people thought he could easily have been a first-round selection if USC was able to utilize him correctly. Coming out, he had great length, and he had a very good first step and acceleration, which is probably why the Niners drafted him. He has good foot quickness and agility. He also flashes great flexibility in that bend, and Nick Bosa even talked about this. He has good lateral agility, and he really has moments of great upper body strength, but he was on the little smaller side for defensive end. Jackson showed some flashes of a pass rusher, but did show he needed to develop some of his body to be an adequate run stopper, really a 3-down player. And it looks like during this offseason, he's made that huge jump. During OTAs, he looks like a different player. He's built now. This guy looks like you want your defensive end to look. He looks almost like Nick Bosa. So is it possible right now? The Niners have one of the deadliest defensive lines cooking up. I think Drake Jackson had first-round talent last year, and if he's under Kris Kocurek for his second year and is able to develop, I think this defensive line could be nightmarish for the rest of the league. But that's just my thoughts on Drake Jackson and the San Francisco 49ers OTAs, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you guys liked and subscribed. Thank you guys so much for watching.